Hello and welcome to the channel, this is Mish. Today we're talking about our experience using the Sigma 60 to 600mm DG OS HSM Sports EF lens with Lumix S5IIX. Yes, it's an EF mount lens and we used it with Sigma's own MC-21 adapter. This isn't a lens review, there are plenty of those already on YouTube. Instead, this is a quick overview of what to expect when using this lens adapted to the Lumix system. Thanks to our friends from Taylor & Co Rental for providing the lens. The first thing we wanted to test was autofocus speed compared to a native EF setup, so we mounted the lens on an older Canon 6D and compared it to the S5 II, Panasonic on the left and Canon on the right. As expected, AF on the Lumix is a bit more sluggish and tends to hunt slightly more than on the Canon. For this test and throughout the video we used the lens's limited AF range setting 6 meters to infinity. Overall a bit slower on the Lumix, but not by much. Still very usable. Now for some real-world AF performance. We tested continuous AF with cars passing on the highway. The Lumix had no trouble finding and tracking them. With large, slow, contrasty objects, AF works great. Next, we tried animal tracking with horses. Again, the camera locked focus easily and held it well, no weird behavior or hunting. Now, for what these kinds of lenses are truly great at, birding. Here's a handheld video with only in-body and lens OS enabled, no digital stabilization in camera. Yeah, if you want really stable results, definitely bring a sturdy tripod. The AF tracked birds well and managed to stay sharp most of the time. There were times when AF failed completely. Here's an example with ducks far out in the water. I tried switching from wide area to center point focus, tweaking sensitivity settings and so on, but it just couldn't find the birds in the frame. Makes sense considering how small, far and mostly submerged these birds were. One cool thing I noticed. When using full body AF, the Lumix displays a box around the entire bird, but when reviewing the images later, it's clear the focus was actually on the eye. Very nice touch, even though it's not explicitly labeled as eye AF. Here's a poor attempt at birds in flight. The camera tracks the birds fairly well, although it occasionally loses focus. Here's one handheld clip, stabilized in post with DaVinci Resolve. So yeah, handheld video is possible if your back can handle it, as the whole setup weighs about 3 kilos. Now for some final thoughts. Honestly, there are few reasons to get this lens for a Lumix system, as there is an L mount version too. The price is exactly the same, even though L version is a few years newer and possibly improved. In our case, EF was the only version our local rental has, so that's what we went with. So if you do end up adapting this lens to a Lumix camera, it's definitely usable. Most of the issues we ran into were due to user error, like accidentally shifting focus area with our noses or just our general lack of birding skills. We couldn't get close enough to herons or other cool but super cautious birds. That's it for today, hope this was interesting, let us know what you think in the comments and see you in the next one.